Hey, this is Lotus Comics Press. We're here with the amazing artist. If you know the '80s, you know his music. Out of the Lost Boys, he did the "Cry Little Sister" amazing song, which everybody knows if you watch the Lost Boys. With Tom Mack is an amazing artist. Now, getting right down to it, how are you doing today, sir?
Um, Considering 2 days are just full on, yeah, not bad.
How are you enjoying Frightmare, Texas Frightmare overall?
Oh, it's fantastic. It's really, of all of these cons that I've done, it's definitely up there in the top three.
Have you ever been to Dallas before?
I have. I've played here a couple of times over the years, but I don't play here enough apparently.
I was going to say, now our company really enjoyed "Cry Little Sister," the song out of Lost Boys.
Thank you.
And I wanted to know, was there an inspiration that you had coming up with that song?
Well, it was a bit of when I was asked to write a theme song from Joel Schumacher for the movie Lost Boys. I basically just started. He sent me a script, and I got very inspired, really right away, just to write something. And as he was hoping I would come up, because they were filming the movie at the time, and I said, "Oh, I'll see if I get inspired," and I did. And went on to write it one morning, got up and kind of wrote it on the guitar, the verses, and then went to my piano and wrote the choruses, and before long I had a song. Got up to my studio and I demoed it. It all happened in like one day, and just got a few kids to come in and sing the choir part, just as a demo. And then I sent it along to him. He was in Santa Cruz shooting the film with the boys and girls.
Yes, sir.
And he loved it. He called me back 3 days later. He said, "I can't believe that you have no idea how well this works for my film." And then I went in and did the proper production on it about a month later. I went to LA, and I was in New York at the time, went back to LA, and we started placing the song in a movie. But in my head, it was a different kind of movie. It was very much, very different than when I started watching the film. I'm going, "Oh my God, this is a good film," but it was so different, But it's like when you read a book, you get images in your head or scenery, or at least I do, and it was just a different kind of thing. But what a magnificent job he did in filming and directing that film.
It's one of our favorite movies from the '80s. But what really made the film transpire was your music.
Well, a lot of people say, yeah. I mean, I have fans that never seen the film that know my song, and I always have to tell them, "You guys watch the film,"
I'm singing all the time.
because it's like one of those. It is one of those songs that found a life of its own. I mean, obviously, many people have recorded it, done covers of it, including Marilyn Manson. Last summer did a version of it. He did a fantastic job, and of all. I mean, I've had songs recorded by, God, everybody from Carly Simon to Eminem to Ice Cube and to this one and that one, and it's still one of my favorite songs that I've ever written, and yes.
Do you have out of doing all the music you've done and all the inspiring stuff that you've done as an artist, do you have a favorite moment or favorite experience that really sticks out to you?
Well, obviously Lost Boys was, but I mean, because it was very adventurous of a song to write "Cry Little Sister," because it was so different, and it wasn't like a sort of 80s sound or whatever, I tried to invent something that was pushing the envelope, if you will. But I do go back to my song "Look in Your Eyes" that was in the movie Fast Times at Ridgemont High, and how cool it was to have Cameron Crowe, who I thought was a journalist, and he was, from Rolling Stone, select my song to be one of the key songs in the film of that soundtrack. So that was early on. That was probably the second film I'd had a song in. And it went on after that to do, before I did Lost Boys, I'd already done like 14 films, the likes of, All the Right Moves, 16 Candles, whatever. I mean, just the list went on. But
do you have any heroes that really stick out to you that really kind of helped transformed you when you were like younger as an artist?
Yeah, I mean, it's a mix. Stevie Wonder, David Bowie.
Always one of ours too.
Yeah, well, there you go. And I even love Neil Young, and I've always loved the sort of eclectic sounding voices or eclectic artists because that's kind of where I live. I try to make things, have a good sense of authenticity.
Well, we hear you there. You're promoting Lost Boys, the story, which is the musical.
The musical.
Right? So,
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, about 5 years ago, a bit longer actually, I started thinking, probably about 7 years ago, I started to think about what could it be as a musical. I studied musical theater back in New York, so just for no other reason, I like to know what it's about and how that all works. Because I love musicals. And so, since I was a kid, when I saw West Side Story for the first time. So, anyway, I started to think about how could I structure it where I could tell the backstory to David, the Kiefer Sutherland character, and to an array of cast members, meaning, Lucy and Michael and Sam and Star. And so before I knew it, about 8 months went by and I started to really take more notes and things and develop a backstory and also but more importantly, keep the fun and that sort of, horror factor that Lost Boys had and not getting away from that, but and creating songs like Frog Bro Hero, which is the Frog Brothers song, and Death by Stereo, and songs like Sleep All Day, Party All Night, which were all on this.
That was one of my favorite scenes from The Lost Boys, was Death by Stereo.
Oh, yeah.
That was one of my absolute favorite scenes in the movie.
And I wrote about 2 or 3 different versions of Death by Stereo before I found the quintessential kind of funky Nile Rodgers chic kind of guitar thing, and I'm going like, oh, okay, I'm going to go with this. I'm going to have 2 incredible, African American girls come and sing the backing vocal.
And it's really cool that you're involved in this.
Well, I was the one that created the involvement.
Yes, sir.
And then, but I have 3 really good producers that are involved in producing this musical. They've all come from amazing backgrounds of Broadway and theater. So
well, we have 2 wrap-up questions for you.
Yeah.
One, being that you're an artist and you're an amazing artist at that, we love your work. Do you have any advice for the new upcoming artists in general, for musicians? Any advice that you would be willing to share with them, if you may?
It's a loaded question.
It's a little loaded, but
we at
least ask it.
because there's many different, depending on what the question is for most people of being an artist.
Generic advice that you've run into
really
helps.
I think really being true to what you are and believing what you are creating or building upon your own music, but staying authentic. I think authenticity, if you have it, meaning like that thing that's called major talent, authenticity takes time. Really because does. There's a lot of art, there's a lot of great singers out there. You can turn on The Voice at any time or American Idol, and there are all these great singers. But being able to be an artist and being able to write or do songs that work for you and tell your own truth, that's the best advice I can give anybody.
Yes, sir. Well, if you had a favorite superpower, just as a wrap-up question, and you got to choose your own superpower for this realm of existence, what would it be?
Oh, I would have to say if I had something up my sleeve that could just create more love in the world,
yes, sir,
I would go with that superpower.
I like that.
Thank you.
I think that's a good ending, sir.
Well, we need it.
And a good beginning at the same time.
Exactly.
Thank you very much for coming out this weekend.
Appreciate it.
Definitely come check out G Mac. G Tom Mac at that. Is there a
Thomas McMahon.
Is there a website that we can go to for all the new people
that
are checking you out?
Just follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. It's all G Tom Mac, and my website. I haven't even used that word, but my site is gtommac.com.
Well, yes, sir. You heard it here first, guys, through Lotus Comics Press. Come check out his website for sure. He's an amazing artist and really amazing at what he does. He's full of love, and if you love the Lost Boys, you'll definitely love his music. Cry Little Sister. Well, come check us out here at lotuscomics.com, and we'll see you here real soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.